What did you ask me to do?
Talk a little bit.
Oh, okay. Thank you for coming. I'm gonna have your collar up for this.
Oh, no, maybe not. Probably should.
Fashion choice.
Should I?
No.
Exactly. Hopefully that shit don't look too wild.
It looks a bit wild.
It
looks a bit wild.
I bet. That's what happened when we ruffle shit up.
Thank you. You want to do the honors?
Sure. Am I saying anything?
You could say, "This is for me, Tae Cino, take one."
Well, this is for me, Tae Cino, take one.
That's cute. Okay, do we need a clap?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do one first, and then you do.
Okay, let's take a breath together. I'm gonna take a breath with me.
Come on.
Good. Okay, give me 1 second.
Have to let it all out.
Yeah.
Need another one?
Yeah, one more. All right, I'm ready. How y'all doing? I'm your girl Nia Rose, and this is for me. I say this all the time, but today I really mean it. This is a special guest that we have today, Tae Cino. So,
Gracias.
I love to start my show off just giving all my guests flowers. And, you know, ever since I got to connect with you, work with you, I have seen you firsthand celebrate the wins of your colleagues who, like, are getting accomplishments that you've want for so long, you know. And I think that's so beautiful, the way that you genuinely show up and show love and support to fellow artists. So I love that about you. And I see the work that you're putting in every day for, you know, and even before I even met you, just years of putting in that work. And I'm excited for it to be your turn and, you know, for you to blossom and bloom. So I'm just really excited for you.
Thank you. Yeah, I like it. We're gonna keep it.
But, you know, speaking of your turn, your most recent EP, Consistency is not an option.
It's not optional.
It's not optional. You start the EP off with Matter of Time. The name speaks for itself, but can you talk a little bit about the headspace that you were in when you wrote that song?
So when I first came up with Matter of Time, it was like sitting in the studio that we had in the basement. It's like, you know, I worked in certain different areas. I done toured and all of these things, and it's like, I still ain't got like the big break yet. But it's only a matter of time before it all happens. Like some of those things that I spoke on in the song have happened, you know what I mean? Songs being played internationally and things like that. State to state, touring, like I said, going on tour, doing those type of things. So it's a matter of time. Like most people in this business would say, you only one song away. So it's only gonna take that one.
So you gave some examples like, you know, going on tour, going state to state, playing internationally. What are some other ways, you know, you would feel like, okay, I finally made my big break?
Being able to live off of it.
Yeah.
That's when I'm comfortably able to live off of doing what I love in the music space. Like that's when I would be able to feel like, we good. Whether that's, even if that's just like $60,000 a year off music, that's somebody's salary.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was asked that question super early on. And they was like, all right, would you rather have the $1 million deal, or would you be comfortable making 50 to 100 grand a year off of it? Back then I was like, shit, I want that $1 million. I don't care about none of that. What you talking about? As time go on and you get a little older, you like, if I was able to make $4,000 a month off of straight music, that's not including any other endeavors. It's like, Nah, that would be sweet.
I love that. And I've never heard that because it's always like, I'm trying to get to my first million, you know, but there's so much levels of success even before that. And like you said, that's somebody's salary. There's people making less than that, you know, in the 9 to 5. So to be able to do that creatively, doing your passion, I love that you're even considering that. And speaking of your music, you've talked about your inspirations being Big Crit, Tupac, Nipsey. How have you implemented some of their influences into your own artwork?
I think it speaks for itself in the music, from sound, substance, you know what I mean? Speaking on certain things, like I was always, you know, it's always like the Biggie Tupac debate that goes on. It's like some people feel like Biggie's the better rapper, but I don't think Biggie holds the same impact as Tupac. And I feel like it's based off of more so of what Pac spoke about. You know what I'm saying?
Impact as far as like people are referencing him, or what? How are you measuring impact?
Impact throughout the entire space of, I don't even want to just put it in music because Pac did so much more outside of the music. You know, he was still an activist, you know what I mean? Spoke for his people, did a whole bunch of stuff outside of the music. Yeah. That part is what I really mean. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that. And, you know, anybody who spends enough time with you, even just a little bit, they know how much you love music. Like, you're going to be playing every genre, every type. And I feel like your love music like goes beyond genre. I feel like you have a true love for the soul of music and just the connecting energy of it, whether it's hip hop or rock. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, where did that love for music originate and how that's colored your perspective?
Growing up in it.
Yeah.
So my mother playing, you know what I mean, we had that traditional like clean up on Saturdays. Mom gonna play something. All right. Mom playing oldies and goodies and all of that type of stuff, R&B, all crazy. And then my sisters, you'll hear everything from like Bone Thugs and Harmony to Linkin Park. And,
Linkin Park, yes.
You'll hear one of my sisters love like international type music, so she'll play like Mark Anthony and only play like the Spanish side of this, you know what I mean, the CD, or she'll play. What's somebody else? Carlos Santana, you know what I mean? Like had that CD, all whole bunch of just different music, and I'm caked with brothers and sisters, so it's like everybody got their own taste in music. So I was able to just pull from each and every one of them, and then cousins and all of that too that I grew up with. So jacket. It sound like it. I can take it off if need be. I ain't want this.
First time we cutting.
God. Gotcha.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
You're good?
Mm-hmm. I thought it was the bracelet.
The bracelet? Oh, right. Like clink, clink. But yeah, so you're talking about your family. You're caked up in it. Everybody, pause.
I don't even know if that was a plausible moment for real. Like, you know, you might have been able to get away with that one.
But you know, your sisters, your mom, everybody's listening to different types of music. So, can we expect you to come out with a Spanish album or something like that?
I don't know about that one. I wouldn't put it past it though. If I could find the right people to put together with that, oh my goodness, absolutely.
All right, so the great ethereal queen Solange Knowles, she talks about doing everything with intention. And I got the opportunity to work on set with you on Surviving the Beat. And I noticed whether we were, you know, practicing or actually filming, you were coming to set, you know, adorned with your personal brand, 528 Frequency or Thanks Leva or Hope, which, you know, stood for Hold On, Pain
Ends.
You know, it was like every day you were carrying these, you know, beautiful reminders. Do you feel like what was like the intention of those designs? Was that something just for you? Was that something that you wanted to share with the community? What were you thinking?
So 528, the High Frequency brand is really my brother's brand. You know what I'm saying? But that's something that we all started in one room, same house, day in, day out, spending a whole bunch of time just writing out like, all right, what can we do? What's the idea behind this? What's the message between High Frequency? And most of us was on like a spiritual journey at the time. So it was, as a collective, it was like, all right, yeah, we all starting to get out of our own way and turn into these completely different men from what we known to be.
Right.
And it was like, all right, high frequency, you know what I mean? 528, what is 528? That's the love frequency. Start doing research on stuff like that, and it's like, all right, our plan is to be able to show love no matter what. Like you said, I give people their flowers no matter, like, because I'm not no hater. I refuse to ever turn into that type of person. I'm always give love where it's one deserved, even if it ain't, I'ma still put that out there because that's the type of stuff I want reciprocated. So I feel like that's that piece. And then the thanks lover is like love. A lot of people don't know what lover comes from. It's like, I'm not saying lover. It's not lover. You know what I'm saying? Lover is like DC slang for beloved, loved one, something like that. So that can literally be toward anybody, but it's about giving thanks. You know what I'm saying? Gratitude is another big space that I think needs to be fulfilled in anyone's life.
I love that. And you touched on, you know, you and your brothers, y'all were entering into this, you know, spiritual path. What were some of those things you were letting go as you were, you know, starting to practice or be more intentional into this spiritual path?
Anger. Anger is one of them.
How do you even let that go? I feel like that's a big one in the Black community and Black men, you know what I'm saying? How do you actively work on letting something like that go?
Come with breath work. Come with breath work. Thinking before you do, you know what I'm saying? Not acting out of emotion. A lot of people don't get that. That's super emotional. Like, you turning into a super emotional being when you do that. You think you rah-rah and you tough, but you break that down. If somebody was to come and psychologically break you down, you'll probably end up in tears. Yeah. Because that's all anger really is. It's a different form of like hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that we transform hurt into something else.
It's so interesting, and it reminds me of some clip where I think like a young boy was angry and he had like a weapon, and there was this like older Black guy, and he just started talking to him, and he's like, "What's going on?" You know, instead of feeling afraid or defensive, he saw that actually you're afraid. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like if you see a angry cat or angry lion, it's like actually they're terrified of you, and that's why they're acting all big and buff. So I love that intention. And you know, you talked about the emotion of it all, and I feel like you get to explore that as an actor. You know, you've been featured in Bundle, Seed, Surviving the Beat, as we mentioned. What are some like version of yourself that you got to meet or learn as you were on set, or even in making your music? What are some parts of yourself that were revealed, if that makes sense?
Honestly, one of them is the anger side. Early on in music, some of it, most of it really ain't never come out. It came out, if it did, it's on a CD that came out like 2013. I only printed up CDs. I didn't put it on the internet, nothing like that. So, like a lot of my early music, super angry. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm yelling a lot, stuff like that. And I was like, somebody had to come to me and be like, hey, yo, people are going to get tired of you talking at them or yelling at them. Like, you saying some stuff that might hit home, but it's the way that you're delivering it. A lot of people might not receive it because you're yelling at them. You know what I'm saying? You're not talking to them, you're talking at them. And that's a problem. So
yeah, and that's love for them to even say that, you know, because artists, we're sensitive about our artwork, and they saw that, okay, you're angry, and I don't want to hear that, and I know I'm not the only one, you know, and that's going on you to be receptive to that. Like, okay, maybe there is another way.
Because it definitely comes with resistance in the beginning. Be like, man, I'm not listening to what you got to say. Nigga, you don't even do music. But it's like, all right, get home and you sit and you like that. It just keep playing back in your head. Like, okay, maybe they got a point. Start thinking about the people that I listen to. It's like sometimes they do go into that mode, but they also know how to dial it back and really get the message across. So
and artists go through seasons. You know what I'm saying? I think of even Nicki Minaj, for example. I feel like her Queen Radio album, she was talking about like, oh, I'm the bad guy now, you know, and then versus this next Pink album, I feel like she's back in the love. It sounded like she was in Love and Healing, but now she's on social media acting up. So, you know, maybe the season is back to Queen. You know what I'm saying? So,
seasons. everybody gonna go through seasons, constant changes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? It might be a time for that. Like if I was to do a rock album, I probably would yell my little lungs out.
Yeah.
Like
I feel that. And you, even going back to that person who had that courage to be like, to come to you as a friend, family, whatever, I think that took a lot of love and just seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like looking at your community, you have a loving family, you know, friends, even fan base. But you've talked about in your songs, like, you know, I don't really feel that love from family or friends. Where do you feel like that narrative comes from? And not even just you, but in music, where like, you know, it's only me doing this, and nobody else is for me. Where do you feel like that narrative comes from?
sometimes that support system don't be there. Like it might come in a different type of form of like, all right, I get love from y'all here,
Yeah.
but when it's time for this throwing an event, music come out, stuff like that, you might not feel the support, or they'll say like, even when people give you their word and then they renege, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, like, damn, was it, like, did you really give a damn about whatever was going on? And it ain't even gotta be music. That can go for anything. It's like, once you give me your word, I feel like you should stand on that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that I try to do my best with, no matter what. If I tell you I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
If I can't do it, I'm gonna let you know that I can't do it. But it's like, yeah, I think that's more so the angle
Where
of a lot of that. And then
from.
it's just a lot of like friendships that might have fell apart throughout my journey. It's like, all right, I ain't cool with this person because X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? People steal from you. Family, I've had family steal from me. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that type of stuff. So it's not toward everybody.
Yeah.
It's for who the shoe fits.
Right.
So when they hear something like that and they feel it, yeah, you probably one of them people. It's probably you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. So, okay, so tell it plainly. How can your loved ones, if people really mess with you, how can they show love? How can they support you in a way that you would feel it?
Just be there. Show up. Show up for, like, no matter what it is. All right, we got another movie coming out. If it's going in theaters, show up to the premiere.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, post that. That's free. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about too much of that. And even if it's just a call, like I would appreciate a call. Like, yo, I see, you know what I'm saying? Still going hard at it. You working, do. You know what I mean? Because that's the type of stuff that I will, like, anytime I see somebody and they doing it, like, all right, yo, you doing it.
Yeah.
Like, keep doing it. Don't let nobody veer you off. Shit like that. Because I don't feel like I got that a lot as a child either. So I think that's another thing that brings that up too.
Yeah.
Like childhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff that stuck with me.
I love that. And you also talked about in your music, in your childhood, having a grandfather who's a Crip. You know what I'm saying? How is, you know, a lot of people might, you know, cap in the music, saying they come from the hood, or saying they're making money that they don't even have, you know, but you have those real life experiences. Do you feel like having that history is something of like a benefit to you or obstacle?
Nah, really, because that's a grandfather that I never even got to meet. You know what I'm saying? We just got stories, hella stories about him, stuff like that. He passed when my father was young, so it's like, I don't know too much. That's why I don't tell people like, nah, I don't bang.
Yeah.
That's not my life. That's not what I come from. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with all of the hood politics stuff, but I ain't never really even indulged in that because I had, my gang was my family. You know what I mean? That's how my father taught us. Like, this is your set right here. Like, all that other stuff you might not even be able to trust anybody outside of this right here. So
I love that. You also talk about you could have sold your soul when you were 15. And, you know, there's a lot of talk of Illuminati or selling your soul to get that fame and fortune. Cat Williams was even talking about different people who, quote unquote, crossed over because they made certain decisions. What are some things that you've decided, like, I'm not, you know, compromising on this no matter the cost, you know, that they try to give me?
As far as like if somebody offered me something and they, because people
I'll
are
give you 15 milli.
I don't.
But this was something you're like, I don't care what the check says, I'm not doing it.
Putting on a dress. You know what I'm saying? Having sexual relations with a man, I'm not doing that. Nah, we're not doing none of that. I'm not, like, integrity is big with me.
Yeah.
So even like for my nephews and stuff like that, the younger ones, that's something that I drilled to them, like integrity. Like when my godson get in trouble or something, I had him writing out that word and the definition 100 times because you keep trying to be sneaky and doing stuff because you think nobody watching you.
Yeah.
It's always somebody watching, whether that's an actual person or you got God upstairs if you're a believer, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's always watching you. So anything that's just like out of my moral compass, I wouldn't. You can't. It's not $1 that you can give me. It's not. It's not anything you can give me to make me compromise my integrity on that.
And I think that's important. It's important to have that backbone, have those boundaries. You know, it's not for everybody.
For sure.
You know, no shade to people who they want to do that, but I think it's important to know. Even with modeling, for example, it's like that was something that was told to me early on. Know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. It's like, okay, I don't want to be naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that. And for some people who do, like, they know how to do it gracefully or whatever. So I think that's cool that you knew what you wanted and you're standing on that. Are there some people that you're inspired by that helped you to feel more confident in setting those boundaries? Like whether it's in acting or music?
Like you got Denzel. Denzel is one of those people you ain't never really seen him play no super wild role or anything like that. Like he always is who he is in the movies. Like I think there's an interview out where he talk about how he won't even date a white woman on screen because it's disrespect to his black women. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Black History Month.
Yeah, shout out to Black History Month for sure. Happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
So, like you got people like that. You got the whole Dave Chappelle thing, him running away from $50 million because of what they tried to get him to do. It's like, nah, that's not worth it. Then he come back. It was damn near 20 years later, and he came back stronger than ever. And they gave him $50 million per episode, if I'm not, or per sitcom, or stand up, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Like, sheesh.
Yeah.
Be patient. You know what I'm saying? It might not. It's probably not worth it at the time. All you gotta do is wait.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned Dave Chappelle because that brings me to my next question of what is funny and what is crossing the line, you know, because we have this whole thing about PC culture, politically correct, being respectful versus being funny. You know, Dave Chappelle, he's had almost all of his specials talking about the trans community, getting backlash from that. Kevin Hart getting backlash from the gay community. What do you feel like is that line, if there is one, of like, okay, this was funny, this was a joke, take it easy, versus this is violent language?
See, to me personally, it's hard for that thin line that everybody keeps drawing to me, because a lot of it I don't think is super offensive, but I'm not in those people's shoes either. So it's like I can't tell you how to feel about what somebody else said, or if it was coming from me, I can't tell you how to feel about what I said. You know what I'm saying? So these things, it's like at the end of the day, bro, it's comedy. Everybody's comedy isn't for you. It's a bunch of other comedians out there.
Yeah.
So you ain't gotta pay attention to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Pick somebody else to watch. You know now what he gonna talk about.
Right.
Why you still watching? You still want it. You looking for it at that point. To me, you know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of people go searching for the negativity.
That's true, but let me ask you this. Have you ever had that moment where you're watching one of your faves, or you're watching somebody and it's like, that's offending you and they're making you feel away? Or vice versa, you know, you're an artist yourself. Has everybody come to you and like, why are you saying this? Why are you talking about women like this? Or why are you talking about this community about this? Have you ever experienced that?
No, not personally.
No. You just don't give a care. You just
I don't. You know what I'm saying? It's
strong skin. Nobody can say anything to you.
It's not going to truly bother me that much, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to like really bother me to like rock me to my core.
Even if like a white artist or something might say something like,
you got white people saying the N-word all the time.
Yeah.
You want to experience some racism? Go to Florida. Go to Jacksonville. Bump one of them white people and see if they'll nigger what?
Yeah.
Like, and you talk back to them, you might get lynched. That's how real
goodness.
this is. You know what I'm saying? It's really like that out there. They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care. You just like them, a whole bunch of them Trump people, when all of that stuff was happening, they don't care. Like if you came across that, you had to have the the same type of skin, in my opinion, to be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like if it came your way, you gotta be able to deal with it. Other than that, it's like if somebody can't if they can't take what they dishing out, then that's when I would say it's crossing the line. If you can't take the backlash and the flack that come with whatever you say out of your mouth, because everybody has the mind to think before they say and think before they do, then that's when you cross the line. Don't do it.
I respect that. One more thing about this. What do you think about just that idea of people having a platform? You know, somebody just you bumping into on the street, that's a different platform than, you know, somebody like Dave Chappelle, where you literally have millions of people watching you, millions of people influence about you, and millions of people changing their actions based on this influence, you know?
So to me, it's like, all right, what did he really say that's hateful, hurtful? You know what I'm saying? It's a joke that might, like, it's like if somebody was sensitive about their forehead and every day they get 5 head, big forehead ass, like, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Why you pointing at me? I'm feeling attacked.
Because it's us having the conversation. I'm just giving it.
You understand? The big forehead, like, whoa.
No. You don't. You're good. You're good. But it's just like, how many more slave movies we gonna take?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't get in that uproar when we got Quentin Tarantino constantly having these white boys say nigga and you know what I'm saying, whipping and cutting off testicles and stuff in his movies. Like, that's not an issue. That's not offensive to nobody.
Yeah.
I think it's, you know what I'm saying, there's levels to everything, and when it gets to a point where it's like hurtful and stuff, that's when it is. But I've never really felt like he said anything that's like super hurtful. But then again, I can't tell people how to feel.
Right.
Because I don't feel that way.
Right, and you're not a part of that community.
I'm not.
Yeah.
So it's like, but I'll have conversations with them about that type of stuff all day. Anybody within the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The whole whatever. It's just like, if we can have a conversation about it, break it down to me. Let me know why you feel like that's so offensive and so disrespectful.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, your openness to understand. And I think that's something that might be missing. Like, people aren't trying to understand. They're just trying to just go protest, believe on something they don't even really fully grasp, or go say something against somebody just because you haven't taken the time to get to know them. So
stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
A lot of people stuck in their ways. It's probably how they grew up.
Gotcha.
Stuff that they, you know what I'm saying, came up on. You never know how that works too. It's like everybody's upbringing is different. You might have somebody's upbringing that's like, F them, like, you stay away from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you got people that's really like that. Like, other, you know what I'm saying, people calling it devil stuff and whoop-de-woo. So it's like, you never know how that goes with other people too. I think that's a real thing.
Okay, we're gonna do one more question before we wrap it up. You've released, you know, several beautiful bodies of work, EPs, got your viral videos with your crew, 4 headers, and, you know, you got some healthy hair over here. What does success look like for you?
Like I said, being able to actually sustain and live while doing what I love to do. So the entertainment thing, I really do love it. You know what I'm saying? Writing, period, I love. So it's like, even if it came down to it, songwriting, writing scripts, all those type of things, like, you know what I'm saying? That's something I'm in love with, like, since a kid. So I think that's what success really looks like to me. Being able to do it effortlessly, get a nice home, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, keep doing that.
No, I love that. I love that, and I see that for you. So, okay, lightning round.
Let's go.
Who is your greatest inspo within your own family?
Greatest inspo, grandfather.
Okay, if you had to sing a song to save your life without error, what would it be? Or rap a song?
Big Crit, Children of the World.
Got you. All right. If you could tell 16-year-old Cino, what would you say to him? If you could talk to him.
Be patient. Just be patient. And keep your head down. Be patient, keep your head down.
Okay. If you could marry Maya, the singer, or me, who would it be?
You know, you taking? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't taking, it might have to be you because I don't. Maya, you know, she done married herself. She's the only person that I know who's ever done that. I don't know. It's kind of awkward.
Okay, what's a beautiful memory that you will never forget?
A beautiful memory I never forget. Family vacation with, like, my father, all my siblings, all of us was able to go out to, I want to say Florida. But I think we did Florida and Myrtle Beach before. So, you know what I'm saying? That's something that's going to always be there.
I love that. Thank you so much, Cino. Let them know what to expect from you, where to find you. Top camera.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that, at Tae Cino. That's TAECINO. And we got more music coming up. We got more projects coming up. Follow 4 Headers as well. Shouts out to the gang. You know what I mean? We got a lot of things coming this year.
Woo! Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm your girl, Nia Rose, and this is for me. Thank you for staying tuned. Also, this is going to be a full on YouTube, and it's going to be out on podcast.
Oh.
So stay tuned, y'all. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Woo! Did it. Okay, I think Jada's here. Let's see.